Say hello. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Silla.
Watch my great kick. And jumps and goes, yeah. Pardon me? And
Motherhood and how it changed you.
Oh my God, it changes everything. I'll give you this piece of advice that I learned. Forced to become liars.
Yeah.
That we don't know when to stop.
hold on, do I leave it on?
Okay, say hello.
Make sure you leave it on. Say hello. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Silla.
And how old are you now?
2
You're 2. And whose house did you come to?
dice.
Di's house, that's right. You nervous?
Fuck, yes.
I'm very excited. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to This Is For Our Friends. We have a special guest today. They're all special, but
They are.
I was very excited about this one.
A lot of people were, I feel like.
And she's finally here. Bona, welcome. And we'll talk about you when we're done with our fact check, and it's going to be all about you.
Oh, shit.
And everyone's going to know who you are and how we know you, if they don't already. Imagine, people might not know who she is at all, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
So
You guys have a
We got
big
some
ass
random
group, so-
listeners. No, random listeners, too.
yeah.
That's like what makes me nervous is like I'm not sure like who's listening to it.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Okay, so we're going to do our fact check first. We were talking about pop and soda, and what we say, we both say pop. Do you say pop? Yeah, because we're from the Midwest. So I just looked up to see like where people say, in what areas people say soda, what areas people say pop. So soda is preferred in the Northeast, most of Florida, California, and pockets of the Midwest around Milwaukee and St. Louis. Pop is what people say in most of the Midwest and the West. And Coke, even if it's not Coca-Cola brand, is what people call it in the South.
Oh,
So like they'll say, let me get a Coke even if it's Pepsi?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's what I was referring to, because I'm like, is it Albanians that say Coke even if it's not
Yeah.
a Coca-Cola? But it's actually in the South. People say Coke. Yes, like Kleenex or what's South? It's like a brand that's a brand, but we say it like Q-tip.
Cheerios.
Cheerios.
Albanians say Cheerios.
For- yeah.
Yeah.
What was
oh,
the
yeah,
thing
for
you
all.
sent me about? Oh, macarona. It was like
Oh,
Italians
yeah.
have like all these pastas.
It's like
and Albanians
linguine,
are-
spaghetti, Alfredo, or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's like
types.
macarona.
Yeah, and that's what we say. Albanians say it's all macaroni.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then it says a solid 6% of Americans simply call them soft drinks, though, which is lame as fuck.
Yeah, who the hell does that?
Especially in Louisiana and North Carolina. And then there's small pockets of the deep South that call it Coca-Cola. They would, the deep
They would.
They
South.
would, yeah. It sounds,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
And then in Boston, which is freaking weird because you're about to go to Boston.
They say it's separate from everybody? Or different?
They say tonic is what a decent amount of older residents grew up saying, although the term is quickly falling out
I'm going
of
to say
favor.
that when I go there.
Like, can I get a
Let me
tonic?
get what kind of tonic you got? I'm be like, what? I'm going to be like, Coca-Cola, Sunkiss.
They're gonna be like, oh, he grew up different. Yeah.
That boy old as hell. He's an old soul.
Okay, so a Mexican Coke, you were correct. It's just made with white sugar instead of the high fructose corn
There
syrup.
it
We do
is.
that here too, but we call it like throwback, I think, or
For the Coke.
yeah, or throwback Pepsi, throwback Mountain Dew.
Possibly.
Okay, and then the squirt commercial. Remember how it was like, there's this squirt commercial, and I cannot figure out what it is. It's not squirt, it's Sundrop. Do you remember this commercial now at all? Now that I'm saying
If I
it?
hear it, possibly.
Okay, let me pull it up for you too.
What'd you
to
think of the
see.
good humor?
I'm like a few episodes behind right now, so I know I never thought that would be me,
No, it's
literally, but
I mean, you are a mother.
and especially coming on, not being caught up,
That's okay.
never would have thought.
Do you know how many famous people go on podcasts all the time and don't listen to a damn episode? You
Yeah.
know? So don't worry. You don't have
I
to.
feel like Dre don't listen at all.
I don't think Dre listens to it either.
Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah.
does.
Which is
And
totally
we'll know.
fine.
We'll find out after this episode.
Yeah, we will.
Why? Why
'Cause
do you
he'll-
guys think?
I just don't think he. I thought about it today at work. I'm like, I don't think Dre. I don't know why it came to my head. I'm like, Dre don't fucking listen.
I do wonder what friends actually listen and which ones. I mean, we know the ones that do because they always comment on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You
And
know?
specifically, they'll comment on topics we talk about.
Yeah.
You know.
I listened to today's, most of it.
Oh, okay.
Today's was really good.
That
It was
was
about
a-
like religion. And
yeah. It was a really fun episode.
It was.
It
And
was
like you said,
like-
it was so smooth.
So smooth. We didn't have like any hiccups. We kind of just, and I did have stuff to talk about, but we didn't really even hit those
Really?
topics
Oh,
as
okay.
much as I thought we were going to, and it turned into like other topics, which is so fun
Yeah.
about doing
better,
this.
yeah.
Is like that's what always comes of it. Okay, so here is the Sundrop commercial that I was referring to.
It's gonna get hot today. Grab a ice cold sun drop and show us how you drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. 'Cause I got it going on.
I never saw this.
Me neither. The song makes me feel like I have, but
But it,
the
yeah, 'cause it's a
visuals,
song.
no. Yeah. I don't think I've ever even heard of that pop.
Sundrop? No.
That's probably really similar to a squirt, like a citrusy
Yeah, I can't think of any time I've drinking it. I don't know. All I remember is that commercial when I think I was in like junior high or something. And every time I heard that song, I would think of that commercial, and then I would like do the dance with it. Okay. And then I saw, when I was editing the last episode, there was a quote that I thought of that like rang true to you that I wanted to tell you. And
To me?
yeah,
All right.
that I feel like it explains what I was trying to say about like who you are as a person, and it's wherever you are, be there.
I'm sorry.
you-
I looked at Bona sides.
He's like the
Bona
least
side.
present. You're telling
No,
him
you're
he's
so
present.
Bona
right.
side.
I'm
So
like-
I looked at her. Like she was like
I'm like, never mind. I take it back. No, that's so funny.
wherever you are.
Wherever you are, be there. Like you're okay. You're like, you don't think about what's outside. You're like
you're
this
in
is,
the present
you're
moment.
here. I am. Like
Right.
this is where I am, or this is where I'm supposed to be. Whether it be in this present moment or just like where you are in your life. I feel like that rings
I
true
feel like
to
you're
you.
like that.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like I'm not like that. I'm not
No.
good at that.
Like-
Like I spend a lot of time thinking about like something else
Yeah.
instead of
Just like in general, like when you're in a moment, or kind of like for your like where you are in life right now.
I don't know. I've just noticed like I feel like I overthink, and it's like not all the time,
Yeah, no,
but
of
I've
course not.
noticed
Yeah.
that it's like something I want to like
Yeah.
focus more on, like being present.
Well, okay, so meditating is, I don't meditate, but I want to try to start, but it's so fucking hard because when you're meditating, you're literally not supposed to think of things.
Yeah.
Like you're just supposed to be completely clear-minded. So I've been trying to, when I let my dog outside in the morning, I like stand there and I just like close my eyes and I try to breathe for like 10 seconds and not think about anything. And every time I think of something, I imagine my personal self like kicking it and just like,
Oh my God.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that it is like you do have to practice
Yeah.
that too.
Totally.
But I did listen to this podcast once about like a CEO and meditation, and like really high up CEOs meditate, like it's something really big. And they say it's crazy because when you're meditating, you also will think of your greatest ideas, but then you're not supposed to be thinking of it, and you have to like push those ideas away to like really get the full effect
Yeah.
of the meditation.
Yeah.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
feel like that's like with prayer too.
yeah.
Like it's hard to like reach that state of just your intentions and like
Yeah.
without all the
Mhm.
other stuff
Yeah.
popping in, you
Yeah.
know? But that's why it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because like once you reach that state, you're just
Yeah, I really want to try to practice.
I tried
meditation.
meditating before when I first bought a record player, the one I ended up giving to you. Like I was in that mode, like hippie shit, like you know what I mean. That's when I like stayed home all the time, you know. So I tried meditating. I looked into it. It's like you can't like jump from 0 to 100. You know, like I said, you got to practice, and then like there's like levels to it
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know which page I went to. Like or I'm sure there's like hundreds of types of meditation, whatever. But like I literally sat in my room for like 10 minutes the first day, literally just sitting on the floor. I put like a little music, but you're not even supposed to put music.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
supposed to be
but
like dead silent. Yeah.
And then I think I did it for like 3-4 days, like 10 minutes first day, 15 minutes the next day, like 15 minutes again or whatever. And then I just ended up stopped
Yeah.
doing it.
It's
But
hard. It really is.
Yeah,
it's like
but-
a discipline too, actually.
yeah,
exactly
for
what
sure.
you said, like something will come to your head and then you're literally telling yourself like, oh, what am I doing?
Like,
Yeah.
don't think
Why?
about that.
But your brain just starts thinking about shit.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, it's like small as shit. Like it was. I'm not kidding. When I stand outside, it's 10 seconds that I'm doing this, and the amount of different topics that I will literally have to like.
I love that you
kick.
envision yourself kicking.
Like I
when
close
you
my
said
eyes.
that, I just imagine like
Like-
using like
That's
a
what I
that,
imagined.
but like I imagine like mine would be like using like a spray bottle. You know
Yeah.
how you like
Yeah, for
spray
like
something,
cats
stop.
or dogs.
you know what that reminded me of? The kick. Remember where was it?
Me?
Yeah, you. What was it again? Was it a home video?
Yeah, it was like in our kitchen.
Bona just out of nowhere, she goes, "Watch my great kick," and jumps and goes, "Yeah!" Like,
But it was like the world's shittiest kick. Like, and I think in the video you were like making fun of me
Yeah.
too.
Wait, how old were you?
Young, I don't know.
maybe she was 7 and I was 5, or she was 8 and I was 6.
I love the
Yeah.
confidence of kids though. Like
Yeah.
she was like, "Watch this, bitch.
We
You're gonna
always
be
make fun of
impressed
that.
here."
Like we always bring that up.
Yeah.
Watch my great kick.
yeah, one of those
There was
things.
so much we quoted from our home videos, like
Yeah.
Dad with the snow.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
hope you do it.
So my dad boat her, obviously. It was like a snowstorm, whatever, and like there was like 3-4 feet of snow, and our neighbors are shoveling, and like they got to it before my dad did. It was like really windy. It was like a bad day for them to start shoveling, you know.
Dad got
But anyways, my
pissed.
dad's like recording me and Bona just playing
He made
while
that happen
the neighbors
before.
are like shoveling, you know. And the neighbor goes, "Do you want us to shovel like your part of the sidewalk?"
But
Which
Dad didn't like understand them at first because remember he's like,
yeah, initially he's like, yeah. And then she's like, whatever, she just carries on, and he's like, "Oh, pardon me?" And and
But,
she's
like,
like,
he,
she's
like-
like, "Do you want us to shovel your like part of the sidewalk?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I hope you do it."
and that would
But
me and my
it's-
mom and Samir just would like study and quote that.
Nonstop, yeah.
That is so funny.
He's like, "Hi, yeah. Pardon me?" Oh my, that's even funnier than "I hope you do it."
It's the whole thing.
Because
But
the best part about boaters is they try to use like
Yeah, that's
Pardon
my favorite
me.
thing. That's my
You know?
favorite thing. My mother-in-law, when she says matter of fact, I don't know why.
she says
it-
matter of fact. She
yeah.
says it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know why when she says it just doesn't like match the person
Yeah,
she is
because
for some reason.
Yeah.
it's not like
Oh
we
my
don't
God.
say like pardon me in real life. Like if you
Yeah,
grow up
yeah.
in America,
that,
you know.
like my
That's
dad when
funny.
he used to answer the phone, he used to say he used to ask for Avdi and he used to go speaking.
No,
And he used
no,
to
we did
fucking-
not. I don't remember.
I swear
do
you
not remember
you just
that.
didn't commit it to memory because that's literally what he would say all the time.
Speaking.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
like another-
Oh,
You're
dude, that
not
is
like-
hilarious.
You know?
Well, it's so funny because I love my dad, hardest worker in the world, but whenever he's a real estate agent, so when he would post a listing on like Real Comp online, whatever, his word was gorgeous. Everything was a gorgeous master bedroom
No other adjectives.
with a gorgeous finished basement with a gorgeous, and that's like we always just talk about it. We're like absolutely gorgeous. And every time we say gorgeous, like that's the only way I can say it now.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh man, our parents, they're the best. But okay, so let's get into Bona. So if you don't know who Bona is Samir's sister.
My sister.
Finally, welcome. I had both my siblings on. It's only right.
That's true.
It's
I
only
didn't even think
right.
about that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. That literally the second I had Robert on, I was like, but now you got Bona on we have to weigh it out, you
Balance
know,
it.
balance it. Yeah. But yeah, so I did want to touch on like your childhood, but you guys already kind of talked about it. But I want to go deeper into that because I know you guys probably have so many fucking funny
Yeah.
stories together.
I already told the book one, right?
Yeah, the one.
She reads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
she reads.
that is. You're such like a Dennis the Menace type
I
of.
swear.
attitude there.
exactly. And like he just thought he was outing me. Like she's not cool.
Yeah,
Like,
I
like-
did do it to do that too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not like that's just what happened. No, I meant to like out her.
yeah.
You were just
And
fucked up.
this girl was like popular, and Samir literally knew. Like he was like something like Bona's hanging out with
Yeah,
her.
keep the goddamn
She's
mic
a-
closed.
I'm sorry.
She's like, oh yeah, so boy.
It's okay. It's okay.
So far, you're the worst one with the mic.
Stop.
Yep.
No.
Hey,
Oh my
right?
god.
With this,
Yeah, with the mic.
she's well. You
Now I'm literally.
But it doesn't matter. Like it's
you
not a
guys
big
are
deal.
siblings. You guys. He's not great with the mic either. It took like what
She
10.
has to put the volume all the way up when she edits it. on
Really?
mine, 'cause
It
I'm
took
not good
like
with
10 episodes for him to like actually like
sit still with it?
intentionally.
So
do
you're
it.
just projecting onto me right now.
Maybe.
could be,
And I breathe really loud, so I'm like,
On it, yeah.
dude. I have been doing it really badly.
I feel like I just did once. you
No,
said that, like,
I've been editing and I have to cut out my breath so
Do you?
much lately.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dom called me out on it. I was like, motherfucker, because nobody notices.
Yeah,
like
You don't really
from
notice.
listening to the podcast, you notice?
You'll notice when you listen yourself, like you, because you're critical of yourself. Everybody
Yeah,
is
yeah.
of themselves, you know. Like
Yeah.
I'm not watching thinking how Fia sounds,
Yeah.
you know.
but it was the first episode and I sent it to him before I even ever posted it and he was like, dude, you have to cut out my breathing. I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm like conscious of it. And then I heard myself these past 2 episodes and I was like, what the
Is
fuck?
it easy to do? Like,
Yeah.
is it just more like a slide?
I just literally cut the where you're like,
Yeah, okay.
that's it. I
Oh my
just
gosh.
cut it out.
I feel like I just did it
It
again,
doesn't even
like
matter
straight
if you
into
do
It
though.
doesn't.
It
It does
doesn't.
not matter at all. It's so easy to cut. But okay, so I want to talk about if you have anything that you want to bring up from past episodes. I always like to ask guests that because they do sometimes
There
and
is
they
so
don't
much.
sometimes.
There's so much, but it's hard to like
pinpoint.
I actually wanted to like write some stuff down and didn't. But there was one thing you were talking about like being in your 20s and like really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is like fucking travel as much as you can, because it's just like so different when you're young as opposed to like when you're like booed up, and then when you're married, and then when you have kids. It's like always fun, but there's like nothing like when you're young and like. But I like backpacked.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna ask, like, what'd you do? Did you travel like
stayed in
alone?
hostels, like took a bus from like country to country.
Wow.
And I feel like you just can't travel in that way. They're like vacations when
Yeah.
you're older, you know?
Mhm.
And even if you're like exploring and stuff like that, it's just
Completely different.
it's so different,
She
and
did,
you
like, a
just
lot,
learn
like-
so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like such an important part of youth that a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know what the episode was about, but I just remember like thinking about that. Like that would be my advice to like.
I think
someone in
Maybe it
their
was the one
20s.
where Noella asked.
Oh yeah, I think that was.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
For your early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 20. That's great advice.
And that's great advice for her too.
Yeah.
It is,
you know?
Yeah. Because she's like at that stage.
She's at that age where she can travel, you know, like she's 20.
Yeah.
Perfect age, you know.
And I'm not saying you have to like backpack or anything like that. I just,
Get out there.
because even me, it wasn't like this crazy like 6-month long trip.
It kind
you
of
know,
was,
but-
though. She would, okay.
No, it was a few weeks. It was
Oh, the backpacking, like
Yeah.
through Europe type
Yeah.
shit? Yeah. But like you went to Brazil for, how long did you go to Brazil for?
I think 10 days.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I could, dude, I thought like 3 weeks.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
10
That's
days
still
is
good.
still a long
10
time.
days
that's
or
plenty
2
of
weeks.
time, but for some
It was a
reason, I
lot
always thought
for
it was
me.
like,
It was like a lot in one. Like it was my first time experiencing nightlife because I was 19, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
That is cool as fuck of your parents. You wouldn't think
Oh,
that
it was
like,
a struggle. It wasn't as.
Oh
I don't
my
think
God,
it
the
was
night
as
before
easy
I
as-
left
It wasn't as easy
was
as
like
I'm
World
going to
War
Brazil.
III.
so what
Like,
like
my
how did
dad
you
was
convince them? Like or not even convince them, like what did you say to them?
I had your back,
to
100%.
set you up for that.
Samir always had my back, and I was like, I like pushed it. But they
She just
also
didn't give a
sent me
fuck.
to.
At the end of the day,
They
which
also
worked
sent
out.
me to Montenegro because my parents didn't have their papers when I was 9, alone with my Audrey's family. Samir didn't start coming till you were
like 16.
16.
Yeah.
Damn. But so I was 9 going with them alone. But like, so I would like stay with my Audrey side, but then I'd go to my Daya's without them.
Okay.
So I'd be like alone.
So you
so
were
I think
used
that's
to
where I
that,
like got used to like,
the being able to do it solo.
yeah. And giving me that like just wanting to experience more and travel and stuff. Cause I felt like the first time I came back, I felt like I was so fucking cool. Remember we went to Cali right after.
Oh,
Like
that-
as a
oh,
family,
no.
and we went to Disneyland. Is it Disneyland? That's in Cali?
Disneyland in Cali, yeah.
And my dad was video recording the whole thing, and I was the biggest brat.
Oh my god.
Like I was like too
Because
fucking
they would
cool.
like they would like ask me questions like, Samir, like you having fun? And I'm like, yeah, jumping up and down, you know. And then they'll ask Bona, and Bona's like,
Samir,
get the
I'd
camera
be like,
off me, you know, like
literally
a brat.
You're like, I've been to Europe.
Like too old, but like that's just the age, you
Yeah.
know. But like she was like too
Like
cool
I'd see
for
the
it.
camera and be like, "Are you recording?"
Oh
And
my
like,
god.
But I literally think it's because I just got back from Europe.
Yeah,
and
so
like,
you're like
this was like nothing. Like it was like small change, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh
she's
my
like, this is all
gosh.
fake fucking rides and shit. That's not a real mountain. I
Samir
just saw a
was
real mountain.
so cute. He was so excited and like,
Yeah.
I got this person's autograph. And like, but
Remember Cruella DeVille?
No.
I'll never. You don't remember? I just
Like, what about
I
her?
remember
Like,
meeting
how-
her.
like-
I don't. I remember meeting Mickey, Goofy, and Cruella DeVille.
I
Like,
remember
everybody-
her being like so good, like in
Oh,
character.
she killed it. She was like, she put like her hand on your head. Like
I
to take the
remember
picture,
meeting
like,
Ariel.
like this. She was like this.
That's
like that,
scary.
you know?
I remember meeting the Little Mermaid and being like shy, you know.
That is so
Josie's gonna
strange
like
if you think about it.
I have the pictures too. I'm gonna show her.
Yeah.
Those are-
Disney World and Land are so magical. Like I want to go as an
It
adult,
really, dude.
but it also is so strange to think about all those like those people take off their costumes and then they like go to a bar. Like
Yeah.
you know.
So we just went to this party where they had like Disney princesses, and I'm like, I was just staring at them like, you guys like have real lives. Like
Yeah.
this is like, it's so crazy that you do this for like
I feel
work.
like-
and they're like in college
Yeah.
probably or like
Mhm.
students.
and
you know,
or
like-
Actors.
actors. I was gonna say they're
Yeah.
actors too. Some people, but like I would struggle with like my identity. I
But
swear.
I
to
swear,
wear like
no.
to wear a costume, like not a costume, but to wear like a mask. Like,
Yeah.
Like if I'm a mascot,
yeah.
you know, like being like Goofy or something, that would be fucked up. That'd be annoying as shit. But like to be like a princess, you're still using your real face.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you get what I'm saying?
everything's exaggerated too,
It's
like
just
how
like,
you
"Hi,
talk
kids."
and yeah.
Like imagine doing that for like 12 hours straight.
Yeah,
Hi,
you
kids,
gotta
how
love
are
kids.
you?
You gotta love kids.
You definitely have to love kids. Cause Suda with those princesses, they had like a bag of like goodies that like random like trinkets and stuff, and she kept going to their bag and like pulling shit out, and then I kept like running after Suda, and like they didn't care, but it was like, if you're dealing with that like
All
in
day.
and out,
Yeah,
like
they could easily be like,
if you
take
don't
care
like
of your
kids, you're
fucking
gonna
child.
snap.
Yeah, right
you know?
away. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, back to traveling though. So you went on that backpacking trip. What places did you go to?
So I was already in Montenegro, met my friends up in Berlin. I don't remember the route, but it was Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Croatia. I might be missing something, but Prague was the fucking best city in the world.
Yeah?
Like so dreamy. Just,
Where is Prague? What city or country?
Czech Republic.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And we stayed in like hostels and stuff. I just think that experience is like so unique.
Yes.
And it's like all young people and they're just like traveling for cheap and like
Yeah.
you're just meeting so many people, and you wouldn't have that if you're just like going to a hotel.
Airbnb.
Or like me and Muhammad, we're gonna stay in an Airbnb.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I couldn't do
different.
that.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. So Samir was saying how like he doesn't think he could do that. But if he was like with you guys or like a group of his friends
Yeah.
doing that.
Meeting.
Because like we
yeah.
were with like I was with like my closest friends
Yeah.
meeting like groups of friends.
Georgia and Desi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I
only
don't-
two of us.
I think that yeah, if you have like one other person, you definitely maybe two, because like one person could irritate you, so you could just go to the other person if you know you guys have a little tension during the trip. But like if you have 1 to 2 people with you, I think you definitely could do it.
I could do 100%.
You
I'm not saying-
100%
could.
could.
What I meant was when it came to the
Like sleeping
like,
and
no, that I get sleeping in hostels. I slept in a hostel in Chicago. That don't count, But
I mean it counts.
yeah, but it's not like backpacking through Europe. I can backpack and do the hostel shit. But what I meant more was like the new people, to meet like new people. Like I feel like now I'm over like
Well, now, yeah.
Now,
That's
you
what I'm
know,
saying. Like
do
when
when
you're
you're
like
young,
in your
maybe.
20s, it's just you cannot recreate that.
yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone needs to do that. I just think like that's like my advice for someone in their 20s. Like just like leave,
Yeah.
even if
Honestly,
it's like fucking 10 days.
yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Honestly, like I have had the experience of going on trips with friends and then meeting people while you're there. Like it's the best experience. I'll never forget it. And like because we met those people and learned about different people and where they were from, and they were like in the military, and it was like all of this like different like that I don't see here in Michigan, that I never will, that I got to be a part of, and now I have that forever, and we have like
Yeah.
pictures forever. And then did you guys see that post on my disposable camera account? There was somebody who took a picture with his film camera, and I took a picture with
yeah,
my
yeah,
film
I saw
I
that.
camera.
think I did, yeah.
And then we had like it like stuff like that. Like you don't have chances like that if you're not traveling. and
That's
meeting
like
other
another
people.
thing. Everything, and this is how life is too, but when you're traveling, it's like magnified. Like everything fucking works out.
Dude.
And it's so like serendipitous. Like the longer you do it, it's just fucking crazy. And I feel like that's how like life is meant to be lived. So like if you don't like have that experience, life can become so mundane.
Yeah.
When you like travel like that, you see like, oh my God, life is so magical. Life is full of these moments, and you like notice these patterns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, not saying you need to do X, Y, and Z to like experience that. I just think like, okay, like for example, at Electric
The winging
Forest,
it,
wasn't
you're
Electric Forest crazy?
Yeah, that
There was
was-
some moments like, do you remember? I think it was the silent disco, or I don't remember where, but everyone from our camp came together.
Without
But like
meaning
without
to.
meaning to.
It
But
just
like
met.
everybody, like the whole entire group,
We were
it
like
was
20
so
deep.
fucking trippy.
Wow.
And it's kind of like
And
that.
it's easy to
Yeah.
get lost.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not
It's not
like,
like the
it's not like
biggest
there's
place in
5
the world,
things to
but-
do and we just happen to
Yeah,
end up
but
at
there's
one
so
of 5
many
places.
people
No.
there to like just
Yeah.
all come together. It was insane.
I mean, even thinking
Yeah,
about
that
like,
that was crazy.
we went to Lollapalooza. I can't even imagine. I was lost at Lollapalooza, and they couldn't fucking find me for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I was standing in one spot.
what
the
year
entire
did you
time.
go?
I went in 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I went once.
I loved Lollapalooza, but it just after a while you're like, okay, I think I've ridden that ride
Yeah.
a little too long. But
It's fun.
yeah, it's really fun. But speaking of like how everything just works out, the first trip that I went on was Utah last year, and it was just like we said to each other, it feels like we went through a portal and we're in a different universe right now, because everything that we've thought that we wanted or like talked about is happening in the best ways possible, and it made it to be the best trip ever, like ever.
That's your favorite trip?
That's one of my favorite
Really?
trips. Yeah, and it was like a 5-day trip. It wasn't anything crazy. Like I expected to have a great time, but like the way things were working out, just crazy. It was just nuts. And then we went to Chicago recently, a Harry Styles concert, and like that weekend, same thing. Like it's something about like ever since Utah, something about when I go traveling, things just feel like, oh, this was supposed to happen. Oh, like I manifested this, even though like I don't know what I did to manifest it, and it could just be coincidences, but everything just worked out so nicely, and like all of my trips have been, knock on wood, at a level here
Since that
trip that I haven't
That's
been
how I
able
feel
to.
about any trip since like that time of my life.
Yeah.
Like even when me and Muhammad have gone on vacations, they just always feel like
they just,
I don't know,
and
like
you feel
so
like
exciting
it's
and
so
like
exciting, and then you get like these random perks. You're like, ooh, like,
Yeah.
how'd I get so lucky to get that? Like,
but I
stuff
feel like it
that.
opened, like that trip like opened something in you.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. You've just like hit this level, and then now like
Yeah.
when you travel, you're just like there.
Because when we,
I don't know if that made sense at all.
No,
but.
it does. Because when we went to Chicago, we were going to Tao, and I was like, I'm terrified to go to
Dude,
Tao
when you
right
guys
now.
fucking went back.
Yeah. So I'm like,
was-
I'm terrified to go because of the experience we had when we went.
like it was.
How fucking fun that was. Like that was so much fun. So I was terrified to go to Tao because I'm like, this is not gonna live
You didn't
up
want to like,
to
it's
the
not going to live
hype.
up.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
live up to this
Well, I
hype.
think Nicolette or someone said, I don't know who it was, but like there will never be like a club experience like that.
No.
night. For me, 100%.
No,
no.
same
Like,
here.
That's it.
Dude, we will talk
But
about that deeper.
night was so fucking fun. And you know that line, like, my life's a movie.
Yes.
Like,
Last night
that's
was a movie.
how I felt.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Like literally.
So,
'Cause
like-
it was just like so, oh my God.
So that's what I had to live up to when I went back in October. And so when we go in, I'm like, it'll be fine. Like, whatever. We're just going to have to club like normal people. You know? Ugh. Fuck.
I love that you were going into it like, ugh,
I was
it's
like-
not going to be.
Because I just will never have anything to compare to that. But we got a free booth. We were getting free drinks all night. We were right by the DJ booth. We were in the center of like where we were in the center of it. Like, how did we get that fucking lucky? Like, I
know,
I could
that's
not
insane.
believe it. Just like
But that's what I
everything
mean.
leading
It's
up
like
to it.
building on like the past
Yeah.
experience somehow.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, because you're just like, okay, that was great. Like, let's see what
Yeah.
this can offer. There's this quote that it's like, okay, like, let's see how.
Even when you guys saw Zach Bia here, I was like,
my
oh my
gosh.
God, I love them.
Yes.
Like, sorry to cut you off.
No,
though.
it's okay. No, but even that, like, just like taking your experiences and like letting them happen. But there's this quote that says, or you're supposed to say to yourself before the day starts, or you go to an event or go on a trip, and you say like, let's see how good it can get, because that's, you don't know how good good can be here, but good can also be up here. So like, okay, let's see how good it can get. Good might not be great, but like,
yeah, but
you
that's
know?
a good way to like start each day.
Yeah, like
instead of like,
let's see how-
oh,
like hopefully today's not
Yeah.
shitty. Let's see how good it can get.
yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
okay.
a really great way to start the day for sure.
That was fun. So I want to talk about your vintage clothing and how you got into
Okay.
that, because that's how I first met you.
Oh my God, at the pop-up?
Yeah, at the
You know that
pop-up.
I was
pop-up?
happy you guys all went.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
It's like two worlds.
yeah,
that was awesome.
When was that? 2019.
That was, it must have been because 2020 they did like a virtual one, I think.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then-
So 2019, Nicolette invited us to this pop up. I didn't even really know that you were a part of it until I think we went to it. And then it was in Ferndale, I
Mm-hmm.
think. But like, talk about vintage clothing. That I thought that was so cool that you did that. Like, how'd you get into that?
I've always liked thrifting, like since I was like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then one summer, me and my friend Andrew, I remember like we went with like a bunch of people and thrifted like the sickest shit. Like I found this like one piece bathing suit that said, "Let's get physical." And then like we wore it we like all went to Mad Decent block party.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the next day I wore it to like my friend's pool
Mm-hmm.
in Detroit. And it was like something shifted. I think it was that he might know something different, but that's like when we started doing it together. Like, oh my God, we can like sell it, you know? Cause like, I think someone on that trip, cause there was like some people from out of town, like wanted to buy like something that I thrifted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's when we were like, oh my God, like, you know, we don't have to like hoard everything that we get. Like we can sell it
Resell.
and stuff. And then we started doing pop-ups that summer. And
What year was that?
that was 2014.
Wow, so like a while. It's been
Yeah,
so you
but it
still do
hasn't been like super consistent, you know.
Okay.
But now we sell in a shop in Detroit, so it's cool because like we get to do the fun part, and like because like posting and stuff on Instagram is so hard.
It's
it
a
like
lot.
sucks
It's
the soul out of
consuming,
me
too. It's
yeah,
like time consuming.
it's just hard to like sell yourself. Like it feels like you're selling your soul when you try to like come up with a caption and like take a good picture, and you know
Yeah.
it's just it's just kind of hard to
And the company's called Basics.
yeah,
basic
revival.
Yeah,
Ba-
base-
yeah.
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 Yeah, that's cool. I love that. So where do you sell in Detroit?
Old Soul Vintage. It's in Midtown.
Okay. I think I went there too.
Olivia Rodrigo went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I went there. They were having, maybe it was like, I think maybe you were, I don't know. When did you start going there or selling there?
2020.
Okay. Yeah. I think.
Because she literally opened and then a month later, like everything shut down.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was like a miracle she like survived that
Yeah,
time.
wow.
Wow.
And she was like hustling. She's the best. She's the one who does
She was
for the
doing-
girls.
She was
Okay.
doing like delivery, like pickup orders where she'll
Yeah,
run
she was
it
doing
to the
pickup
car.
orders. They were doing like a lot of stuff online, and
Wow.
But
That's cool. I feel like you're like so unconventional compared. Like I don't know if that feels like a compliment or an insult, but it's definitely.
I take it as a
It's a
compliment. I
compliment.
feel
Okay,
like,
good.
My
Yeah.
cousin calls her a hippie and you love it, I think.
No, I don't like hippie. Because
I don't see
hippie, I feel like
hippie's different than
Yeah.
who you are.
yeah.
Because like I feel like there's still I don't know.
I just feel like hippie has like a negative connotation
Connotation to
somehow,
it.
even
I
though
don't.
it's not.
I don't think it does at all.
I don't know. Like you wouldn't mind being called a hippie?
No, I would think that's a compliment.
Like
But
you're
that's
chill.
just my take on hippie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that
because
is-
you're obviously not.
I just
hippie,
think it
you know?
has had negative connotations. So like if someone's called like lazy or like you know what I
Gotcha,
mean?
Yeah.
gotcha.
It has that too. Do you understand?
No,
Like
for sure.
You know what
no,
I mean?
I get it. I
But-
get the negative side of it, but yeah, I took it as
Or like a pothead, or you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But like even when we were talking about like you traveling, and I do want to go back to that about your parents, like the conversation you had with your parents before you were like, I'm going to fucking backpack and you can't tell me no, because me and my cousin.
My dad didn't talk to me like the majority of that trip until I got to Croatia. And he was in the Navy in Croatia. So like then he was like interested. Like, oh my God, that's like I was like near somewhere that he was stationed.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I came back, I was like so fucking fit, so tan. And he was like, I think he was like, oh my God, literally
this was good for you.
My dad was like so when I came home, dad
he was
so
like
happy.
proud.
He was like,
You know?
I think he was just like so scared
Yeah.
that, and you know, like Albanian men tend to like, it comes out like anger, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, the night before I went to Brazil was like World War III.
Wow.
Not like he was just yelling. Like I was laying in bed and he was just in the living room yelling.
And you're like, whatever.
Like I remember him
You're
like,
gotta sleep
and
through
then,
the flight.
but I also was super young
Mm-hmm.
going to, but Brazil I went to because I played soccer with this girl
Mm-hmm.
who was an exchange student from Brazil.
Okay.
So we were always like, I'm going to visit you. And then like we actually made it happen, which I still can't believe we did, you know, like it was almost like a pipe dream. Like,
Wow.
yeah, one day I'll visit you, you
So
know.
how old were you for Brazil?
19.
And then how old were you for
18 or
backpacking?
19. Backpacking, I was like, I must have been 22.
Okay. Yeah. Like
I feel
That
like,
is
because
pretty
I met
crazy.
Muhammad at 24, which always blows my mind because I felt like I was like older when I met him, but I was like really actually super young,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
But, so it must have been like 21, 22.
okay. When did you get married to him?
Fuck.
25. You were 25, I think.
Mm,
2000 what?
16.
2016? 6 years ago.
So yeah, 25.
So a year after you met him?
A year. I met him the end of summer 2014. We got engaged June 2015 and then got married a couple years.
Oh, okay.
April
Okay.
2016.
Gotcha.
Hey, Di. Oh, you got to watch.
Gotta watch.
Let me see it. You want to sit by Di?
Come on, come sit.
Careful.
Ooh, that's Di's watch.
You want to sit by Di over here?
Yes. But me and my cousin Natha went to Chicago when I think we were 21. For first time just alone by ourselves. What's the big deal? Chicago, it's that far away, you know? My family, her family, everyone was like, you guys should not go. What my daughter was like, we'll pay for you. I will give you all the money for a refund. Like, don't
Oh my
go,
God.
don't go. And we're like, guys, relax. Like, we'll be fine. Don't worry. And like, we went. We had a great time. We came home, you know. And then I just thought that was so funny because it's Chicago and you were going to freaking Brazil and backpacking.
But it was insane. And even like smaller trips were.
How scared would you be? I was gonna say this earlier.
Now?
Well, no, with the like kidnapping and shit.
Yeah, the
Trafficking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, especially in Europe.
It's like one of those things you just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like even going to the store can be fucking scary. You know?
That's what I was going to say. Like, yes, something bad can happen on those trips, but you can also have a great experience. And like something bad can happen when I go to Kroger, but I also could just be buying my bread.
So it's like
today.
you have to like live.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just like live in fear. But of course, like with Suda, I'm gonna be like, I'll fucking travel right after her.
Yeah.
And just walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
behind the corner.
It's scary.
everywhere she
As a
goes.
parent now, I mean, she's still super young, but I can only imagine like how fucking scary to let your child go, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
And I feel like my parent so we were going to Sao Paulo, which is, I think it's the capital. It is the capital of Brazil because I always thought it was Rio, but it's so to convince mom and dad, Bessie changed the Wikipedia page for Sao Paulo to like safest city.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
like we were just trying to make it like
as easy as possible for the parents.
Yeah, but
safest city on Wikipedia.
I don't know if it said it was like dangerous, but it is like a huge city. So you know, like with big cities,
Millions of
like,
people. Yeah.
there's more crime and stuff like that. But
that's
but
so funny. Changing a Wikipedia page just so you can travel.
It didn't work at all. Like, did it help at all? Do you remember?
I feel like it
lighten
didn't
the mood
matter.
for a minute? No, probably
like
not.
from Dan.
Yeah.
Look what this says.
He's like,
You know,
"Do you like care?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I forgot about that.
That's so fucking funny.
But about that real quick.
Go ahead.
I feel like now like girls especially travel more, like Albanian girls. Like before, like my generation it was like more rare, and then like before that obviously like less and less. But I remember someone telling my mom, like my mom's cousin in California, being like, stop letting your daughter travel because now our girls want to travel.
Oh my gosh.
And my mom was like, well, you like take care of yours, and you know, fucking in California, telling my mom like in Michigan, like
our daughters are see that you're
seeing
allowing
that she's
your kids.
and it was just
traveling.
crazy to know that like not that I had that kind of influence, but just like how one can be influenced.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
so easily.
Like so crazy.
I remember, I don't know if you know who she is, but her name's Indie Blue. She's an influencer, and she's got really big because she traveled a lot, and she made like travel videos. And I think I saw her first in 2018, and I literally said to myself, what am I doing? Like, this girl is having the time of her fucking life, traveling around the world, and I'm sitting in Sterling Heights right now, you know? And then it was 2019 where I said to myself, like, I'm going to travel. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm traveling this year. And I went to like,
I remember you saying that.
so many, I went to so many
episode.
different places. That's the year that I went to Arizona, saw the Grand Canyon. I went to Florida. I went to Montenegro. I went to Chicago. Like, I made it a point. Like, even if I'm not going far, I'm doing stuff this year because
it's
like,
not about like where
Yeah.
half the time, you know. Just,
Well, even with our trips, like we never go far, but they're always so impactful, and like the most fun. Okay, so, and I have here introducing Bona, and I said mother to Sura, Samir's sister. But I wanted to talk about
the end.
the end. I wanted to talk about like motherhood and how it changed you, and if you could describe that at all.
Oh my God, it changes everything. So I'm like full-time stay-at-home mom. So I feel like it's different than a lot of moms that I know because everyone seems to like have a break, whether it's like their partner takes over and then they go to work, or they're working and you know they're the kids in like daycare or like someone's watching them, whatever. But I don't know, it makes you like confront everything about yourself, like things you didn't even know were like existed, you know, like random triggers, and it just is like requires so much stamina. Like you're like me, I have to be on like every day no matter what, like all day. I think that's like the biggest change, is that it's like not about me anymore.
Yeah.
She's like my little teacher.
She is the cutest ever. She came in here, and I don't think we got it on camera, but I think we got it on the mic, and she said, we asked her name, Tetsura. How old are you? 2. She's so cute. But do you have like a word that could describe it? Is there one word that comes to your mind when you think of like motherhood?
The first word that came into my mind was insane. Literally, but
I mean, because insane can be great. Insane
yeah,
can be,
yeah,
like crazy, but
yeah.
you know,
it's
so-
just I think it's crazy because like the second you get like used to something, she grows and like everything changes, you know. So I think and this is literally the beginning.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you feel like because you were able to have like all those experiences in your late teens, early 20s, that like it was easier to like give up some of yourself?
100%.
Give up some of yourself for her, but like
For
we
me,
have to be
yes.
selfless.
I don't think everyone needs to like experience like certain things to like, but for me, just like how I think like like I am now, I have like no regrets. There's nothing that I feel like I need to do, you know, other than like be her mom right now.
Yeah.
Like this season of my life.
Yeah.
But I'm not like at home like, oh my God, I wish I was like out with my friends, or I wish I was going on vacation, or, you know, like obviously I would love like a fucking vacation,
Yeah,
but like
who doesn't?
I want to take her with me and like, you know,
yeah,
it's
I don't
not
know
like
who I was listening to now, but they were saying like when you have a kid, like you have to be ready for it. One, because you can't be selfish anymore. And like, even when you go on vacation, like if you went with you and just your husband, you would still be thinking about her and like, oh my God, she would love to play in the sand right now.
yeah,
Like, oh my
we
God,
went
she
to
would.
fucking see Lion King, and she was like even younger on Broadway, and we were like, Suda would love this, and literally she would not have understood shit at the time. Like, you know what I mean?
But like you're
what would
always just thinking about their best interests. Then
Yeah.
like it's not about you
Yeah.
anymore at all.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Did you feel guilty going to Lion King?
No, not at all.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I just remember like Muhammad looking at me like, Suda would love this, and like me going, yeah, we bought her like 6 stuffed animals. It was like our first like, it felt like our first like, because we've
Time
like
away
probably
with
gone
her?
to dinner, but yeah, that was like a like fun outing,
Date night.
you know.
It was
Yeah.
just a date night. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like a date night that was bigger than just like dinner and going home, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask you something, and you don't have to answer it, but you said it makes you like confront things like triggers and like so many things that you never knew were there. Are there any things that you could think of that you would like to share, or like you could?
I feel like I realized I had like a lot of rage inside of me, but and then I learned that like there's like postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, and postpartum rage, and rage is like the one that's like least talked about, but it would come up with me if it was like, this is not so much like a trigger from like childhood or something, but it would be like 6 days in a row I'd be like perfectly fine, and then 7th day I would explode. But that's like burnout, you know. But I just felt like I was getting mad instead of like depressed.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I've never
you know?
heard of postpartum rage.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I follow a lot of like mom accounts now, and that's like the only reason I know why it's a thing. But I think that's like also, I don't know if that's like the Pudai side where we get mad.
I think it's just like you said, like 6 days, you're happy, everything's great. Then that 7th day,
And it
7th
will be
day could be
something
the-
minor, and you'll just snap. And
Yeah.
it's not like I was like freaking out on Suda.
Yeah, yeah.
But like
that same minor thing could have happened 10 times within the past week.
Yeah. But
But
then
just for
I
some
noticed
reason-
that was like my response was like anger.
Did-
And then Muhammad's obviously my punching bag. You know what I mean? Innocent, gentle giant, like the best guy
He's
in the
a really
world.
nice man.
I love
When
it.
I met him, I was like, wow, he is so kind. But how did you confront that? Like, what did you do to better yourself in that
Talk
way?
about it with Muhammad. That's
Yeah.
like, I didn't like really do anything other than that, you know.
I feel like that's
But
enough.
But I
though,
just
having that
and
openness.
he's like the best dad in the world.
Yeah, that's
So like he
helps.
comes home from work and he takes over a lot too, which
That's
is
really
nice,
nice.
you know.
Which is
Yeah.
hard for him too, because you're
Hard for
working
him
all
too
day.
because
It's
he's
not
working
like-
all day. But I will say,
I'm just saying that so she understands.
I will say that, of course, and I get that.
No, for sure,
but
for sure. There's a
if
difference.
I worked all day, I would be like, get the fuck out of my way. I want Suda.
Yeah.
I want to play with her.
Yeah.
Which is like how he is.
Yeah.
Thank God.
awesome.
Yeah.
But when you're like on all day, it's like, I feel like it sounds shitty when you say it like that, but this is like another thing I don't want to do is like apologize, because like there's like mom guilt, but then it's like you can say something, it's not like taking away your love
How
for
much
your
you
kid,
love
you know what
them.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can express like how you feel about certain
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
but I think like it's different to leave and come back. Of course you're tired, but it's like a different kind of tired.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for me it's like more mental, where it's
cooped
like
up.
there's
You're
no,
cooped up.
even if we get out, like I make it a point to like do stuff with Suda, but
Yeah.
we're still, especially when she was like super young, and now it's like you were talking about seasonal depression. It's like, it's not like so much that, but it's now we can't go outside as much.
Yeah. So
You
it's
know
so
what I
much
mean?
Like
harder.
1,000-hour thing.
So I was doing this thing with her 1,000 hours outside, which I don't think we're gonna hit because now it's like super cold. Just like get out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And it's like good for me. It's good for
for
her.
her, yeah.
And if we go out even in the backyard, like I literally don't have to do anything.
Mhm.
She's like, you know, running
Yeah.
around, like making her own fun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
It definitely is a different kind of tired though. Like
it's like a mental tired.
it's 100%. Yeah.
And like God bless my mom because mom, I don't know. I feel like
They
she
did-
almost didn't like.
To them, it's. I don't think they.
I almost
It's
think
not
it's
a thing for.
Yeah,
like,
I almost
our
think
parents,
it's because
you know?
she did because like my mom was a stay-at-home mom and my mother-in-law like worked a lot.
Yeah.
So like my mom had the luxury, which I do too, to stay home, raise the kids while my dad worked, you know. And so I see it was like different with my mother-in-law than with my mom. But I feel like when my mom talks about it, she almost like just I don't know, but it might be because that's almost like all she knew. Whereas
Yeah.
like I had like a whole life
Before.
and then I don't want to say it stopped, but like it totally changed.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure. Also, we're in a society now where we can talk about it. Like it's not
Yeah.
like back then it just never was talked about.
Yeah.
It's not frowned upon.
It was like
it's not even frowned upon because nobody did. Like
Well,
nobody talked
What's
about
crazy about like their generation, it was like you were supposed to like shut up and like medurua like to like handle it. That was you being like a good woman if
Yeah.
you just like
Took it.
took
Yeah.
it basically.
Yeah.
And now it's like the opposite, like where no, that's actually not healthy.
Yeah.
You have to like talk about it, and even just talking about it, you feel better.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like just to get it off your chest, like
110%.
today was really fucking hard, and you know,
Well, and I feel like it helps you not feel guilty either. Being able to talk about like, yeah, that was really tiring and I'm exhausted and I'm glad she's asleep right now. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like it makes you feel not guilty because it's not on your chest. It's not in your head. Like, oh my God, I'm such a bad mom, because you're going to tell somebody and they're like, I feel the same fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, you know, like I get tired of my fucking dog. If I yell at my dog, I'm like, oh, I feel bad. I'm like, no, you know, I can't
You do
imagine.
love him so much.
Yeah,
I think
like-
once I said something to Andrew, he was like, yeah, when my dog was a puppy, I was like, I understand why people shake the babies or something like that. And I was fucking dying. But it just, like, that's obviously, he did not mean that, you know.
No,
but,
It's just a joke,
But
yeah.
I think that's like an extreme level of rage.
Yeah.
Like, I really think that's like why my mom maybe hadn't. I know that sounds like you can't even wrap your mind around that, but I think that might be postpartum rage to its like fullest.
Yeah.
Like just like stop fucking, you know.
Mhm.
It's terrible.
That's scary.
But
I'm scared
that's why
that's
they
gonna
say
happen.
No, man.
don't.
I
Do you know what
swear.
they say? I'll give you this piece of advice that I learned. If you ever think that you can't handle it, you just put the baby down somewhere safe. They're like potatoes.
Mhm.
They can't move.
Yeah.
And walk away for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you really don't have to like figure out in that moment or like do something in that moment other
Mhm.
than like regulate yourself. Another thing I learned is that I don't feel like I learned to regulate my emotions. Because
Yeah.
I see it with, she's learning how, she's just doing like, but she's learning how to regulate her emotions right now.
Yeah.
Kids have like the biggest emotions ever. But I think it taught me that like I don't know how to like process certain things.
Mhm.
Like my go-to was like anger or
Mhm.
whatever, you know? And it's like actually like regulating yourself is like super hard.
Yeah.
That's like another thing I learned.
Yeah. Well, we can switch the subject, but that was so fucking amazing. I loved listening to
Yeah.
that. I know that you saw how
I
much
feel
I
like
was like,
I'm
Yeah,
so
I can
happy.
tell.
I feel like today I was like so busy leading up to the like getting here and
Mhm.
even got here like and pretty much like went right into it. And like if it was any other day, I would have like thought about it legit all day. Like, what
oh,
are
it's
we-
kind of good
what
that
am I
you didn't
gonna
have that
say,
time.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we talked about like being a mom and travel and stuff, like
It's
that's
easy.
awesome.
Yeah. That's like second nature.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
gonna talk to you about something you don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but
Well, honestly, I
just didn't like know what to expect. you
I
know?
feel like we had a conversation in Chicago on like the rooftop. You remember? It was like me, you, Tonka. I just remember.
was
us
it when
three.
we got there?
I
Like
thi-
during the day?
I think so. And
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
like us talking, and I was like, this was like the type of conversations everyone needs to be having, because
we were talking about mental health.
we were talking about like mental health, and we were talking about like stigmas within like the Albanian community and like breaking them, and it was just such a great conversation. So I knew that you were gonna pull that out for me. But I want to talk about funny stuff too, and talk about like you guys growing up and your sibling dynamic and what it was like.
I don't know what to say first.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
Take the lead.
How far in age are you guys?
2 years.
2 years.
Okay, so pretty close in age.
2 years and a month.
Close. My mom would say that I always like protected Samir. We didn't like ever really hate each other. I feel
No.
like.
No.
There's one home video in the snow where like he's throwing snowballs at me and I'm just kind of like taking it. I get mad at the video too, but I'm just and
Her
my
face
mom's
gets
always
red.
Like, she didn't want to hurt him and
It gets red
get
like
him
this.
back, you know.
It's kind of red. But then she like so it was funny in the video. She's shoving me and pushing me and I'm just laughing, but she's mad. So she's and it makes her more mad because I'm
you're
laughing, of course.
100%.
So then like she turns around and like waddles away because the snow, like I said, was like 3 feet. So like she's taking a step and sinking right, taking a step, sinking left, and then I just come out of nowhere and just knock her down or whatever, and then you could see her face. She's mad. And I just grab her face and shove it in the snow. Dad is recording from the window. My dad's recording from the window because it's cold as hell
He's like,
outside.
look at him go.
And then you could hear him laughing. We just rewatched it, me and Mom.
I know Nicolette was telling me.
And my dad's like giggling in the background or whatever,
Oh my
which is fun.
gosh.
Like, they're just letting me beat her up.
Zooms in on my face after that, and it's like beet red.
God, thank God for home videos.
Yeah.
I seriously want to get like when I have kids like an old camcorder just because
Just
like
to
there's
do that
something
specifically.
about it that is so different than just like having your phone and stuff. And
I
like,
think with your phone, it's like there's too much on your phone.
yeah, it's not those like special little moments that like, oh my gosh, can you believe
Yeah.
we even caught this?
Because like everything that's on my phone, like what's gonna happen to it?
Yeah.
All these pictures of Suda, like of course I'm
They're
gonna like
just there.
develop some,
Yeah,
but they're
there's
just
thousands
there,
of them.
you know.
There's
Yeah.
thousands of
But
them. Yeah.
That's why I have so many prints because of like the film that I've taken over the past like 4 years. And I like am so happy because this is such an important, I feel like it was such an important time in my life growing up. And I have all of those pictures like printed and like some are on my wall, some are in a photo album, but like
yeah, you can. It's tangible.
it's
Yeah.
tangible
You can
and
kind
like
of go.
we can like
Let me
go
go
through
pull
it.
it out.
Yeah, because like me and my family, my mom took so many pictures when we were growing up, and we have like a closet full of them. So like every
Albums?
now and then we'll pull the albums down and go through them and like
That's the best.
And you're sitting there,
Sitting
and
like,
like, oh
on
my
a phone, like look
gosh,
at this
yeah.
picture. You're kind of sitting at the table,
yeah,
flipping through.
It's
Yep.
so special.
No, it's much better.
It
Um,
is for real special.
But I
Dad
don't know.
would record us like having dinner. Like my Audrey would come over with the like Benny and everyone, and literally. Just,
So your dad
we
was
would
the
just-
recorder. the
Yeah,
camera.
My
like
dad
he
was the
got it,
recorder.
and it was like the big one that you like put the tape in.
Uh-huh.
And then my mom
Like
would
the
take
whole
over
tape.
too.
Yeah.
And then I would, me or you would
Yeah,
take over.
we would take
but-
over.
And I, for some
We would, like,
reason, would never get, and it pisses me off because I wouldn't get the people. I would go like around the house and like zoom in like on a mirror and zoom in on like, you know, the cart or the TV.
Like,
you
I
know?
don't waste
Like
the
I
film.
was more, like enough of the people.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like,
Hey,
let's look at our
Remember,
interior
Dad,
design.
which one is you the best friend?
I'm like,
George
right
and
here,
Johnny.
right here, Johnny.
It's like it's so cute because he got it and like that was his life for like a year.
The camera.
The camera?
Yeah.
Easy a year. Yeah, maybe a couple
Like
years.
steady
Easy a
recording.
year, yeah.
Aw,
So I feel like most of our home videos are from that time.
that's so sweet.
For
you know?
sure.
That's so sweet.
Us rollerblading and
Yeah.
random
Just
stuff.
like doing life. But
Yeah.
like steady.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like no editing, no like stopping
Yeah.
and starting. Just like let the camera roll for hours, you know?
Oh my gosh, it's an uncut version of your whole childhood. That is so funny. Okay, so what do you both have in common, and then what is your biggest contrast between the two of you?
Gosh.
What would you say?
In common?
But one thing my mom always says, like if I say, and not to say like you can't be counted on, but like,
Samir will always answer the phone.
well, I
that?
do always answer the
Yeah.
phone. But if I say like, oh, I'm gonna be there at 11,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
I'm
will
there
say
at
why
11.
this is a thing.
Mhm.
I will
You
say
know?
why this is
like,
even a
but
thing.
Bona, this is more. I'm talking about when we were kids, because my mom would be like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'll be back at midnight."
Yeah.
You know, I just know like, okay, I'm gonna be back, and I'll be back at midnight, 12:15, whatever. Bona will say like, "I'll be back at midnight," and then here comes midnight, and then it's 12:30, 12:45. My mom calls Bona, "Where you at?" "Oh, I'm leaving right now. I'll be home in 20 minutes." Then, but like, how do you say I'm going home? I'm leaving right now, and I'll be home in 20
Well,
minutes.
this
But
is
now
the
you don't
thing.
come home at
They
3.
could not handle the fucking truth.
And then
This is the
worst part-
problem.
but that's true.
This is the
but the thing is, from the beginning, it's almost. But Bona also,
No.
in a positive way, she's like, and me and Muhammad talked about this.
in the moment.
Yeah, like
Okay,
in the moment, that's a positive.
That's
thing,
when
too.
I'm like in the moment and I
I'm
don't
like that
want to
too.
leave where I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
And she doesn't.
there's
set
also a
limit.
double
To
standard.
her, it's like she doesn't know, which is a good thing. She doesn't know like.
it's good and bad.
She doesn't say to Muhammad or me or whatever at the time, her friends, we're leaving tonight at 11.
Mm-hmm.
To her, it's when it's time to leave, we leave.
Yes.
We don't know.
But
is,
that,
what
so
if 11
when I was
o'clock
younger,
is
it was like a huge problem.
What if 11
But it
o'clock
was
is hype
also
as
like
fuck?
if
You're
I
not
go
gonna
into the night and say, "Mom, I'll be home at fucking 3 in the morning."
They'll be like, no, you won't.
No.
And then they won't
Absolutely
That's a
let you
good
go.
not.
point. That's a good point.
And then
And
yeah.
that's why I think it became a thing because it's like, let me get out of the house.
And then I'll take it as it comes.
And then, but
You'll
now,
deal with the consequences
now,
later.
Like, so fucked up.
Dude,
Now I
it
know
is,
that was
because
terrible.
You're
But
making
like
them worry.
also like, I feel like that was just like you could say I'll be home at like 2 in the morning, or it was like a little bit of a double standard type
Yes,
thing too,
yep.
you know. But
yeah.
so
I luckily do have a mom who is pretty Americanized and like did let us go out, and we were able to tell her when we were coming home. But for some reason, there would be days, there would be times where like my dad and my mom would be like randomly strict. They would be like, okay, no, like you can't, you can only stay
had
out
a little
till-
bit of spice.
till midnight.
Yesterday.
Yeah, like literally, like you know, you have to like think about like, okay, so I only can go out this day because I went out this day. You know,
Oh my
like,
god,
track
that was
yeah.
literally like.
Yeah, you
I
know,
feel
it,
like-
it
Is
wasn't like
tonight
that
worth it?
extreme.
To
Is
this
tonight-
day, I feel like I have
Oh
that.
my God.
Like I was like, okay, I'm doing the pod. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing the podcast Wednesday. Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Saturday I have a pop up. I'm doing for the girls.
Oh really?
This Saturday, yeah.
Oh my god.
And so I'm like, this week is like so
Yeah.
much going on. Like,
Yeah, but I would do the same fucking thing. I'd be like, if I knew they were in a mood, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna be home at this time, and then I would push it.
once I told Mom, me and Dusty were at the mall, and I was like, we're literally on our street or something, or literally
Down the street, like we're at the
something
school
like
or
that.
some shit.
And we were like
Yeah.
cashing out at the mall. But like, I feel like this is what happens to Albanian girls is that and I'm like a very mild case.
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah.
you know, there's like crazier stories, but they're almost like forced to become liars
Yeah, well, 100%.
because. Like my mom was pretty good. Like she wasn't like
She wasn't
you know
strict.
some
Like,
she
she
wasn't
was able
super
to go.
strict. It was more about like coming home at night.
Yeah.
I would say,
Which
than,
is
like anything
truly
else,
understandable.
You know? Or if it was like too much,
Mhm.
like you just knew there was like a limit
Mhm.
to like how much you could do in a week or
yeah,
something.
but for sure
But-
they're trained to become liars
Yeah.
because
They cannot handle the fucking truth.
yeah,
And like girls especially, I was gonna say kids, but like girls especially pick up on that super young, and then they know like, okay, I have to lie.
I have to tweak
to
the lie.
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you know, like, is it a big deal if you're at the mall or
Yeah.
no?
no.
But let
But
me
to
just-
them, it will be probably if I say this instead of that. Yeah,
But like now I'm like, okay, I was just making it worse.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I could be like, now I would be like, I'm cashing out at the mall. Goodbye.
yeah.
Hang up.
Yeah.
Like,
Because what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like if you say you're cashing out at the mall and then come home 20 minutes later,
Like,
rather
lying
than
is- sorry.
rather than saying like, oh, I'm down the street and then coming home 20 minutes later,
Yeah.
you should be like,
like lying is not the way to go.
Yeah,
You
definitely
know,
not.
but I just feel like they make you do it.
it's their fault, victimizing yourself.
My mom listening to this episode.
She's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's
we
my
talk
fault,
about it.
Bona.
I feel like mom mentions that all the time. She's like, yeah, you're not like Bona. You always. That's why I never commit. I never commit.
Muhammad says that's like one of the best things about you. Yeah. I feel like I don't anymore either though.
I will never tell you,
100%.
and I feel bad because yesterday was probably the first time I did it in like a year. Where now I'm trying to take back my word for Thanksgiving football. They want to play in the morning, 9 in the morning tomorrow.
Now you don't want to?
Yeah, but when I commit, I do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I change
Even
my
if you don't
mind, I'm
feel
gonna
like
end up
it,
going.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So with my other friend group, there's this like big issue because I'll like want to do stuff, but like I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna be feeling like then. So like I don't commit, and then they get upset that I
Yeah.
don't commit. And I'm like, or like if I do in the moment you're asking me, I'm like, yeah, sure, like that sounds like fun. And then it comes and I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming. Like, which does suck. It does suck.
Yeah.
But like also people are allowed to change their fucking mind.
Yeah, and also you should honor yourself.
Yeah,
too.
like
Like, okay, is it like a really big deal if I flake? Like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're like consistently flaking,
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
you know, you gotta like change something. But
Yeah.
Good point. I'm
Well,
flaking
Muhammad
tomorrow.
actually taught me that too, because he doesn't have too many friends,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, to be like a good friend takes a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like to actually be a friend to someone. It's like I like to have like an open schedule,
Yeah.
to like wake up and like do whatever I want to do that day,
Yeah.
instead of being like, okay, like my week is booked up,
Mm-hmm.
or like I have like so many things going on, because the day rolls around and you don't like feel like it anymore, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that also comes with like, I think he was like that since he got out of the Marines. Like he realized his time is like really important to him.
Valuable.
But I feel like I was about to say, I think it also comes with age.
It definitely does.
Even Dad said to me, he's like, "Oh, like where'd you guys go out for your birthday?" And I'm like, "We didn't go nowhere." I'm like, "We stayed home." He's
Mom
like,
was
"No."
like, they stayed home.
He's like, "There's no way." And I'm like,
And sometimes it's worth like pushing through not wanting to do something just because you're gonna make like new memories
Yeah.
and
Yes.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I was
but-
gonna say that too, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, fuck, I do not feel like doing this, and then I just push through. I'm like, that was so fun. Like,
yeah,
don't,
like I'm glad I did that.
yeah, I'm glad I did that. So I have been trying to practice it a lot. So like, if I commit to something, like just go do it, because there was a time where you wanted to do this, so just go do it and see.
That's
what
my
happens
thing
from it.
lately, is I think I'm so used to like more like solitude that like plans almost feel like burdensome sometimes, you know, or
Yeah.
like, oh, I have like that going on. Sometimes it's not like every time, but yeah, definitely got to motivate sometimes to
Yeah.
just like, and then it's like always worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I want to do like a little sibling tag type of thing. So on TikTok, they'll be like, "Who's the most this? Who's the most that?"
I just
Okay.
want to say one thing before.
Yeah.
So what we do have in common
Oh,
is that
yeah.
we don't know when to stop.
"Yeah."
Like
What?
drinking,
Okay.
staying out. Like
both
Mom, it's like
stay
we're
out.
you always have to close it out.
Oh,
You
We're the
always
last ones at the party.
like, and then he's always like, you don't like. Well, this sounds kind of bad, but he'll be like, at some point you're just drunk. Like he says this like in general, like
Who says this?
Muhammad.
Oh, okay,
Not
yeah.
just like us specifically, but he's like, after a certain point you're just drunk. So why are you drinking? And he's like, you and Samir like don't have a limit. You just, it's almost like you don't want the party to end. You just want to like.
You never want it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
So like he
We'll
doesn't say it's
stay
like a
until
bad.
5, 6 in
but
the
you
morning
guys are
somewhere.
like, I mean, I think I witnessed that in Chicago, but like I witnessed that with many
Girl,
times.
you definitely
So she also
witnessed that.
that was bottled up.
Dude,
You definitely witnessed
honest
that.
to God,
It was
like when I
fizz-
tell
The
you
picture of
Fizzling.
me on the bed.
that picture of you on the bed, like I have it in my head. It's stored on my brain desktop because I'm like, I go to it every now and then. Like it is the funniest picture to ever exist. Also, that weekend, I did not laugh like that for so long. Like I laughed.
Due to her?
The last night,
I just
every
remember the last night, like really laughing.
Oh my God, we were dying laughing. Everything. I laughed so much that whole weekend.
That
It
was so
fucking
fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that was the best for me because it was like late dinners, staying out, and like consecutive. Like, and I hadn't, experienced that in like
Yeah.
a really long time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
When
was
we
like,
went
I'm so glad you went.
yeah,
when
it
we
was
went to
it was the
Tao,
fucking shit.
we got there and it's like pretty like chill, like calm, like not that.
It
hype
was
at
like
all.
the calm before the storm. I
Yeah,
feel
it
like we had
was.
like a good dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
like really good dinner.
Really
Cla-
good.
everything was
Yeah.
classy.
Yeah, and then
We're all in pink.
And then okay,
We're all in pink.
You know what fucking triggered it though? This is what's funny is we were like all had our drinks, like we're getting ready to go, but this fucking girl came over from another booth who basically had she 100% had her outfit.
we were all like so
Reverse.
did not her.
reversed. She had her outfit reversed, but she came up to the booth and like started pouring herself a drink, and we're like,
Everyone
From
literally.
your
yeah,
bottles.
and we're all like, no. It was so funny because I think Josie right away was like, no, or something like that, and she's like, I'm giving it to her about to Nicolette.
Pouring it for somebody.
And I was like, and we're like, we got it. We don't need you to pour our drinks. Thanks so much, though. And she's like, okay.
Everything just came
And then
together
from
so good
that,
that night.
and from that, we were just like, okay, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
we need to get going. But yeah, that night was so much fun.
It was so fun.
But-
And he's such a good DJ.
He's so good.
Like, that's like the type of music you want to
And
listen
he was
to.
just
It
as
was like
good in
throwbacks
Detroit.
and like.
And we're talking about Zach Bia, but he was just as good in Detroit.
Really?
Like, so good, so fun.
How was the crowd?
It wasn't like crazy. We're at Trust and we're also in Detroit, so it's not like anything closely related. And I feel like honestly, like they're a lot younger, so I don't know like I don't know if they're looking for the same things like we would look for.
Like the,
Like
crowd? The crowd
Yeah.
was younger?
Yeah. If I don't know. I mean, I'm
the
only
crowd was younger here in Detroit.
yeah, it felt younger. I don't know, something about it. But it was still so fucking fun, and we were just basically by the DJ booth the whole time, like a bunch of freaking what do you call them? Groupies. Yeah. So embarrassing.
In Detroit.
Yeah. Truly embarrassing. Like I look back now, I'm like, what the fuck? What were we doing?
You made it to some. Whose story was it?
Stassi.
God, that was crazy. See, it's. I
yeah.
mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't regret it at all. But I sent them a picture today because he posted. Zach,
She's like, I felt like a groupie today.
That reminds me of like those memes where the girl catches like her boyfriend or husband, whatever, like DMing LeBron, like, man, sorry about your injury. Like, I hope you come back like stronger than ever. Like, you'll be back, man.
Literally how I felt. He posted a picture of Hailey with Hailey Bieber for her birthday, and it was on the story. And
I actually saw that.
So great.
And I sent no. I sent it to our group chat, and then I sent the picture of us with him, and I'm like, we're only one person away from Hailey Bieber, basically. You know how they say in like pictures, and like he knows so many famous people, so we're in a picture with him, so we could connect to so many different famous people.
Those, yep.
You know, but yeah, that's all I have for Zach Bia. I don't really even like him that much either. That's the thing. Like, ask Nicolette, and then we don't like. I mean, I don't hate him, but we don't fuck with him that heavily. But like, you would think
you
that
would think
night.
you're the biggest fan.
Yeah, you would think that night, like we were like.
Did you go? You went that night too. Yeah.
Oh, it's so silly. It's so silly. But okay, we'll do sibling tech. I'm gonna reset the camera one more time just to make sure that we're all set. Okay, 66 great questions for the sibling tag. So I don't know why they call it tag, but it's just a trend on TikTok.
Okay.
Who is more sensitive?
Me.
Okay.
1,000,000,000%, right?
Yeah. How about
I feel like you've seen me cry so much lately.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
yeah. But
I don't think you're sensitive.
No, I don't think I'm that sensitive. What was I gonna say though? Fuck. We were saying like. Oh. So I told you this before. Like, when she moved out, like what I missed was I said it like a year or 2, 3 years after you moved out. I was like, what I miss is like when she comes over, we don't fight. Like argue.
Oh yeah, that actually made me sad when you said
because
that.
I was
like, we don't fight anymore. I was like,
we talks a lot. Like, you know, at least once a week we'll have like a 2-hour long phone call.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like just catching up, you know. And then like even yesterday I called you for like 2 days ago I called her for like 30 seconds. We ended up being on the phone for an hour. You know. But anyways, but like I miss like talking shit to her because then when she started coming over, it was like. More like just her coming over instead of like us.
She's still
living together. Like,
she's still your sister, but she's like your friend almost.
But yeah, when he said that, it was weird. Like it was like such a. It felt like profound.
Yeah, you're like,
he was like, shit. I miss when we like would fight, and I'd be like, I don't know. I just like never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Like that we had stopped. That like that's even something he know. You know what I mean? Like
this is gonna sound weird. I miss like you used to like get mad at me. About shit.
Yeah.
Like if I said something, you'd be like, "You're a fucking idiot. Like that doesn't make sense or whatever. That's stupid." Like whatever. And then we'd argue.
And we'd argue. But today, listening to the podcast
with the pregnancy thing.
No, where he's like, "Is it a lamb or a goat about Eid?"
Oh.
And I'm like. Literally texted him while I was driving, like, lamb, you dummy.
I know. My ass is like, I don't
lamb every Eid.
Well, we always do eat lamb. That I could tell you.
Yeah. But he didn't know what the actual
I wanted to know what was
which
sacrificed, and it was a ram,
which is a male,
sheep.
Oh, so
which ain't a lamb.
But yeah, something about the way you were saying it, just like I got instant.
What is a lamb and what is a sheep?
It's the same thing.
Oh, a lamb is a baby sheep.
No, a sheep is a baby lamb.
A lamb is a baby sheep.
Yeah.
A
lamb is a baby chinji. That's a baby lamb.
Okay, a lamb is a baby sheep.
Lamb.
And a ram. Why the fuck do they all have different names then? A ram, a sheep, and a lamb.
When you said a goat, you guys were like a goat and a sheep, the same thing.
That's why I probably got confused.
I'm like, they're basically the same thing.
Like I was like what the fuck? But then. Because like when you said it,
confused
something
because
about
a ram and a lamb are the same thing.
Yeah. But you were saying goat. You guys were saying goat.
Yeah, we said goat.
And you were like, you
I'm
guys
like,
were
whatever.
both like, they're like the
same
same thing. And I was literally like, what the fuck? But then you guys like kept talking about religion a little bit, and then I felt like you redeemed yourself. But like something about the way you said, is it a lamb or a goat? I was like rolling my eyes so hard while driving. Like,
dude,
we failed him. We failed him.
Well, why don't we eat ram then?
I
Because
think
it's
the
too
baby
big.
is like delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's sweeter, but that's
Okay, y'all ready for these?
Yes.
Do you guys have nicknames for each other?
Bona is her nickname, I guess.
Born. They call me Born, and
Born.
I don't really call you anything. You don't have a nickname.
No, Samiri.
I know some people call you
Samir.
Sammy, but
Yeah.
like what I call him, no. Like something that I call you, no. In
Yeah.
my phone, you're stored as Samiwi, which is so weird. Like in baby talk.
Samiri.
Were you guys like baby talkers at all? Like as siblings?
No, but
It's
siblings,
so
no.
my
embarrassing.
cousin Mervetta has the best baby voice in the world.
Yeah.
Have you heard it? Oh, we used to like have sleepovers and I'd be like talking the baby voice.
Dude.
And what would she do? Just be like,
Like
Not a cry.
not a cry, but like if you heard like 5 seconds of it, you would be crying. That's
Really?
how good she does it.
But like my siblings, all of us, we always talk a baby talk, and it's so
Really?
embarrassing. Like
Rob
that is
too,
really
for sure.
such.
Does Rob-
Yeah,
It's so funny.
dude. All
Well,
of
when you
us.
asked me, I was like, that's such a
Put
fucking
his ass
random
on
question. But
Well,
Mervetta does.
Wait, no, it doesn't say it here. I just came up with that by myself. No, but I don't know. Like, why do we do that? It's so embarrassing if you actually think about it. But it's just who we are. What did you guys fight most about as children?
I don't know.
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah.
The only thing that came to my mind was your privacy, not mine.
Really?
Like like when you had like friends over or something that would bother you guys.
Yeah.
Like every time our friends
Because
came
you
over,
wanted to be
wanted
cool.
to hang out around them.
Yeah. Who's the more talkative sibling?
I would say
We're
both
both
of us.
talkative, but more probably me.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was super talkative when I was young,
Mhm.
and then I think when I got older, I like got more
Mm-hmm.
reserved.
Gotcha.
Not
Yeah, I'm
like
definitely
that
the
I'm
more-
reserved, but
I would
I
say
think I
more.
just because
Yeah.
like growing like in elementary school, that was like what I got in trouble for is
Mhm.
talking.
Mhm.
You know.
But that's probably why you became more reserved. 'Cause
Yeah.
they told
I
you
also
stop
think
talking.
Maybe.
I also think in public speaking with Desi, did I tell you like the story about?
I don't think so.
So I I think this is what stopped me talking so much at school, even though it was senior year. But then in college, I became like
The last
didn't want
month
to
of
raise.
school. She
Yeah, I
finally
guess you gotta be
listened.
quiet.
I learned my lesson, everybody.
But I wrote my speech in first hour. Public speaking was second hour. I'm going up to do my speech with like index cards, and Desi's like, "You're not allowed to have cards." So I'm like, "Fuck, leave them."
Desi?
Even yes,
Oh shit.
get up there. She's fucking laughing nonstop.
Oh,
I'm
my God.
like dying through this speech.
Oh
Literally
my
1,000
gosh.
deaths up there, and then bombed every speech after that.
Oh
Like
my
one, I
gosh.
cried and I couldn't finish.
Really?
Yeah, like, but I blame her because she like fucked my shit up. Someone goes after me
With cards.
with cards, and they're not fucking reading them, but they're using them to like
As
glance
like-
at.
Yeah, yeah.
So she
yeah.
just
But-
lied to you?
Yeah, so like I don't know if she's gonna listen to this, but basically like I feel like she ruined my public speaking.
Oh,
So what I was gonna
my
ask you was,
gosh.
are you nervous for public speaking?
I
like
feel
in school
like-
even.
Yeah.
You were?
Like
Yeah,
in
'cause
college,
wouldn't.
I got more like I remember specifically once like having to do a presentation as part of a project, and I like was like it was my turn, and I was
You
just
know,
like,
did you hear me tell the stories where I would drop classes?
yeah, I remember you saying, and I was like
Because of-
surprised about that.
I hate public
Wait,
speaking.
Why?
What?
Yeah.
You didn't tell that on here.
When you get the syllabus that first week or whatever, it would say one presentation or two presentations. I would drop the class, and I'll get a full refund and nothing against my GPA.
Who is more creative?
Me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But I will say, I've always thought Samir was like so cool, and he didn't like tap into it as much as he could have.
In
So like,
what
I love that
areas?
he's doing the podcast
Oh, okay.
because it just feels like a creative expression, even though it's not like
Not serious.
not super like you're doing a lot of the.
Most of it.
But like, I just love that you're
I
doing
paid for the
something that's like
microphones.
Having an outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can any of you sing? Can either of you sing?
I think I can, but I can't.
no.
Neither.
I can, but it's
But are
not
you good
like
at it?
good. It's not like
I
you,
think
girl.
I'm actually good,
You do.
but I know I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
like you.
So I want to say
the sound
something.
of your voice, but you don't know if other people.
I think
would.
I'm good, but I know other people don't think I'm good.
Aw.
So there was this song on Blue Valentine. Do you know where Ryan Gosling goes?
Yes, I
You always
love that
heard
song.
the one you love.
Yep.
So I recorded like 30 voice notes of myself singing that song, and I
all
was
been there, though.
fucking convinced that it was fucking amazing.
Oh my
Literally.
my
I wish you
God.
posted
Like I
it
would
somewhere.
fuck that. Are you kidding
Post it on
me?
MySpace.
Never.
Do you
I
still
don't know,
have
was it
those
that?
voice
No,
memos?
it was like 5 phones ago, but
Oh my gosh.
really?
You're like, I sound good.
But it
Let
was
me see what
something about that
happens.
song, and I felt like I
Give
did
me
it
a
so
starter
good.
of it. How does it go?
You always hurt the one you love. That's how it starts,
Oh,
right?
yeah, where he's like a vampire. He sings it like a vampire.
Yeah, like
Gosling
his voice
sings it.
kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he's not a
Do you
good
know
singer.
where-
He admit he wasn't a good singer, so he's like, I'm gonna do it. I think he did it in a vampire tone. Like,
I don't,
yes,
not
he
the
did.
whole, really?
Yes, he did. You always heard the one you love. Yeah,
He does
did it in
kind
a
of,
va-
I guess
did
he
it
did.
in, we'll look it up
Yeah, you're going to have to play it.
Okay. Right now?
now.
You don't have to now, but I mean,
I'll look it up so you don't lose your.
Okay. If your sibling was an animal, what would they be?
I don't know why I wanted to say eagle for you or
Yeah.
something that's
Ooh.
like, I don't know,
I like that.
Eagle's a nice one.
bold and like independent.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love when Samir gets a compliment
like,
on the
"Oh."
podcast and he's always like,
He's like,
I-
thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I loved when someone said he had a good voice for radio and you were like, how does that make you feel? Or
And
like,
he's like- he's
you
like-
had the funniest question.
He's like,
and Samir was like, I mean.
he's like, I've heard it. I heard that before. Well, what's Bona?
Oh,
Pumbaa.
Aw.
yeah, Pumbaa.
Not from
I
Lion
love
King.
him
Our
to
cat,
death.
Pumbaa.
Yeah. Our cat.
Okay.
I would
No, I'm not a
say-
warthog.
I was like, it's kind of, but he's a cute one. So-
In the live one, though? Have you seen the live one?
no, and I don't really want to.
Oh my God. Have
You
you?
never saw the live
We
Lion
saw it with
King?
Mom.
No.
Oh, like live action?
The
Or you're
real-
talking about-
I mean, the
with
real-
Beyonce?
yeah, you're
Why
talking about the remake.
Yes.
Yeah.
The remake
Yes.
that's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Pumbaa, and that one is fucking hideous.
Yeah, because it's like
We
a
I don't
real.
saw it
remember. I
together.
don't remember. Did I think that too?
I don't know, but I just caught it on TV the other day, and he literally is like so ugly.
That's so funny.
But answer. I want you to
Yeah.
answer.
First thing that came to my head was like a swan. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of a better one.
No, that's legit. I'll
That's
pick
good.
a swan.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know why.
Elegant.
I don't know. I guess that's the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah, if that's what you feel.
know?
If that's what your
But
instinct.
birds,
why?
birds.
Birds.
You're a type of bird.
But birds. What's your sibling's dream job?
Would you want to be an athlete?
Yeah, that probably
Like-
yeah,
I know something with sports.
probably like be like yeah a top athlete.
Like a basketball player?
Yeah,
I feel like that's what, if you like,
for sure.
could
If I
do
could
anything,
choose, if God said
basketball
pick a
player. Yeah.
career and a gift, it would be like something with sports for sure.
Yeah.
Yours, something to do with like traveling or
Do you have one?
I don't know. Do you have one for yourself?
I don't know. Maybe just own like a vintage shop.
I was
Yeah.
thinking something like that too. Honestly, yeah.
But like dream.
That's what
don't
I
know.
mean. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you got.
I'd love to own a restaurant
Yeah.
and be like the chef.
Oh, yeah. We kind of have a similar.
Yeah,
dream,
we
too.
have
That
like
is a
something.
dream.
We've always talked about like doing something together.
and it'll
like
happen.
that.
I think it will.
So Muhammad always says he's gonna, because he's been with UPS since he like got out of the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like clocked in like a lot of years already, and he always says he's gonna retire young and then he's gonna work for me. So I'm just like, what am I gonna do? That
That's what we'll do. I'll come there.
like, is it gonna be a
I'll come
vintage
there, but let
shop?
him know he
He's
has
like,
to work for
I'll
me too,
I'll
though."
balance the books and take out the
That's
trash.
That's amazing.
So like,
His
I
two
just like
job
I just
duties.
gotta pick one
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Let me play this.
This is Blue Valentine.
I can't really sing. I have to sing goofy in order to sing. Like, I have to sing stupid. Okay?
Goofy, not vampire.
Listen, that's what goofy means to him.
You always hurt the ones you love. Boy,
Yes.
you shouldn't hurt at all. You always stay
He's the vampire.
the sweetest
Yes, he is.
rose
Watch. I'm gonna prove you wrong.
and crush it until the petals fall. You always
I could
break.
skip some of it to the end. I think he might.
It does not sound at
Yes,
all.
it does. Right here, right here.
It's because
It sounds like a vampire. Because
I love you.
I think you think that.
Yeah.
I could have swore somewhere it
so
said
good
like
at
sings like vampires, like in the subtitles.
Memories
You
are
know?
subjective.
I think you just thought he sounded like that.
Okay, last question. You ready? One word to describe your sibling. I always like putting things in one
Say
word.
funny.
Really?
One word. I don't know.
Well, that's a good one. Give me a second.
So I'm not funny.
What's a word for like? I don't want to say like. Okay, you said unconventional, so it's funny. But like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a word that
funny is
describes
basic
like,
for you too. Maybe I should think a little deeper.
Yeah, think a little more. Funny's bleh.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I like that because I did not think that you thought I was funny.
You did think that, man.
I mean,
I've said it before.
um,
And she has the same response every time. Really?
Yeah, funny.
tell me more. I'm trying to think of a word for like, not self-assured, but like, I just feel like you don't, like you take everything you know, but you do what you're going to do anyway. Like you let it guide you, but like you like follow your heart in a way that
Yeah.
like, you're not like scared or like.
Yeah.
I don't
That.
know a word
Thank
for
you.
that, but
That.
I like that.
Yeah, I
That
love that.
summed
I
up.
love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. What, like, you're like a free spirit to me. Like every time I think of you, I think like you always did what you wanted to do. You know, everybody always liked you. Like you were like nice, like I don't know,
I'll take
outgoing. Like you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
personable,
Keep going.
personable.
Say all the words.
Like everybody loves you. Like you know how happy it makes me. Like the other day, bitch, I was like so happy. She's like, oh my god, like Bona's gonna be on or whatever. Like everybody just loves you.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how it is with you too, though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
It's a lot of
everyone
us,
just-
a lot of our friends.
That's
That's why
another
we
thing
pick each
Muhammad
other.
Says like
We all pick
you
each
guys
other.
have like the best hearts.
Aw,
Like,
that's
that's
sweet
another
of-
thing
for
we
you
have in
guys.
common. We're just good people.
You're like, we are amazing. And that's that. Alrighty.
That was the last question?
Yeah.
Is this it?
This is
Oh
it.
my god.
We went hard as fuck in the paint.
This was so fun, you guys.
This was really
Yeah,
fun.
you killed
it
it.
was. It
I
was
want
really
you to
fun.
come
Honestly.
back whenever you want to come back. Like,
Next
I-
week. No.
Dude, for like
But
the
I
first.
really would love to come back and like, I don't know if I had a dream or like daydream, but I was like, what if I'm like the reoccurring guest on the show? But no. But
You're like,
I
don't
would
have
love to come back.
For like 45 minutes in the beginning, like you two were like kind of pop. I was just sitting there, maybe for 5 minutes, I was thinking like these two should be alone for this podcast, you know, because it was so good. Like I thought it was like really good. Like if I was like especially if I was like a woman, it would be like something you want to hear. Like I don't know. I was just like.
You know,
Nothing
when you feel
really.
Like
I
you don't
could
articulate
I learned from
what
it.
you want to say that
All
well.
the time, every
so like
week.
when I hear the podcast, I feel like I'm gonna be like, what bothers me is feeling like we like talked about a topic, but it was like a couple minutes, and like
You're
the
like, I
questions
could've
you
said
asked me,
more.
I
dove
could
a
like
little
talk
deep.
about.
I think we dove a little.
We did, but I just feel like
Yeah.
I'm still gonna feel like that.
Yeah.
So like
And-
that's why I'm like, bring me back and let's talk about what we
We
talked
can.
about again.
We will
Yeah.
eventually.
You know?
She's like making sure, like it's recorded that I asked to come back. There's proof. I asked.
This was fun, and I loved our conversations.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for being here. And you're a mom, so that takes a lot. And it's Wednesday, so it's not like it's like the weekend. And
Yeah, but I'm also like Suda is like a night owl. We have no.
okay,
No
I love her
rules.
More than anything in this
she's the
world.
cutest girl ever. The cutest girl.
I love you guys. Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
love
real.
you too.
Thanks
Thank
for
you. Good
coming.
job.
Love you.
Thanks for coming.
And we'll see y'all next week.
See you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.